will survive. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Janjurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies try holder and keep voice. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a shot at the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole first in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son, he made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. World Wide Web, those in the US, the UK, Africa, Asia, Middle East. We say welcome, good morning, good night, good afternoon to all who is locked in. Good afternoon to the management and staff of The Street, 91.9 FM. Understand today is the birthday of the Water Lord, so I reach out. Happy Earth Strong Day, Water Lord. Happy Earth Strong Day. Many, 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 many more to come. You have a lot of contribution to make, Water Lord. The journey now start. The journey now start, Water Lord. So I start this afternoon by giving thanks to the universe, giving thanks to the energies, giving thanks to the Creator for having us above ground today, where we can communicate, when we can enjoy the wonders of the creation, the flora, the fauna, the earth, the seas, the birds, the bees. We can engage each other in conversation. We can make each other smile, make each other laugh. Where we can lift up each other when we are down from time to time. Where we can build a life, a country, a community for those that are coming after us. We thank the energy for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to so do. We thank them. We have much to be thankful for. Very, very much to be thankful for. So as we say, some circles, some say amen, some say inshallah. I say, so mote it be. So mote it be. I'll start by going through this ad because tomorrow, the 12th, is a big day. KFC says, dip it, dunk it, and win it this Saturday, 12th July at KFC South Park. Come sample the new KFC tenders and step into the Java experience. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., unlock the giveaways, augmented reality games, exclusive merch and free KFC. Hosted by Junior Lee and Chinese, with live DJ vibes in full effect. Chase the crunch and unlock the Java with KFC. That is tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is tomorrow. So they'll be having, this is taking place tomorrow, KFC South Park from 3 p.m. So all, I guess, well, this is a public announcement. I guess all is invited because there's some free KFC to be had by those who arrive on time, 3 to 6 p.m. I say again, welcome from Selvon Mitchell, one of the Third Empire. The others are on Matters of State, but they are on their way. They will join us shortly. I just have one comment. I passed twice. I don't know who lives in the Maraval area, who traversed the Maraval area in front of Ellerslie Plaza, where the bank is there. For the last 3 days or so, there is a big hole. A hole is about 18 inches by 18 inches wide and about, it looked like 7 or 8 inches deep in the road over 3 days now. And I'm wondering to myself, I'm going slow, I want to say again, probably you was closing your fridge when I said it the first time. Ellerslie Plaza, Maraval, where the bank is there on the road, there's a gaping hole 18 by 18 wide and about 7 to 8 inch deep. So you know that is mash up shocks, mash up cradle lamb, bust tire, run off the road, kill 2 people. You know it's bacchanal if your wheel go down in that in the night. In the day you might maneuver and see it and so forth, but in the night I'm sure. And I'm wondering, now this hole is Kent House local government, is not too far away from there. I'm sure we have councillors, we have MPs, we have ministers, we have members of the public who work in Ministry of Works, who work local government. I'm doing my civic part here by making a public announcement of a threat that can end up causing severe damage to property, life and limb. And I'm wondering 3 days now, and let me tell you something. Lake Hassfeld have something called road patch. It's in a bag, a coal mix in a bag that they have. And all you have to do is take about 3 bags of that coal mix, right? The road patch that they have, and throw it in the hole and roll it, and it's done. It takes half hour to fix that problem. Jesus Christ. Over 3 days now, this gaping hole is in the road. And everybody maneuvering around and around. And I'm wondering. I know we have a lot of listeners from the Ministry of Works, I'm sure. Listeners from local government, I'm sure. members of the public who traverse in front LSD Plaza on Marvel Road and have to be maneuvering around this hole every day. Let me tell you something. The Patch Road in Trinidad is the easiest thing. We have real solutions to Patch Road. And as the previous show was talking about, you know, minister in this. Said these basic things that we employ persons, your neighbor, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, your son, your daughter, are employed in ministries, in agencies to fix this problem. This way beyond minister. Yeah, I call him minister for this one. We as a people have to start looking at the man in the mirror and ask, did I do my part today? You want to tell me no one in none of these ministries, no way, saw that hole there? Nobody from Diego Martin Regional Corporation, that I think that area falls under Diego Martin Regional Corporation, where they fall asleep in the corporation? You know, there's a position in Ministry of Works called Road Inspector who go and inspect the condition of the road. I wonder, probably there's a vacancy there or something like that. Because the condition of our highways, the condition of our rural roads and so forth, it's atrocious. I give Ministry of Works, local government, when it comes to road maintenance and road habilitation, out of 10, 4. 4. With all the resources we have in Trinidad and the design mix and formulas we have for the building, repairs of roads in Trinidad, I give both agencies, when it comes to road maintenance in Trinidad, 4. We have the worst. And the worst is comparative to the resources we have to improve the road. You know there's a road tax we pay when we buy gas, right? Caller, welcome. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Sullivan.
Not here, any
Are you hearing me?
Caller, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
We had a call Master Control here, Master Control. Not hearing them on the phone. Yeah, so we definitely have to get serious as a people. The cabinet would have given an allocation too, I'm sure. I'll get the numbers. To Ministry of Works, to local government and so, to maintain, improve, upgrade, and so forth, make sure the road surface, or they call it the pavement that we drive on. You know, yes, pavement is the road and footpath is where we walk on, the concrete part. To at least maintain it in some way, my God. Didn't these ministries get any money to do that? Just driving wrong. When you drive from, let me give you an example. When you drive from the gas station, let's say we take it from LSD Plaza there, the gas station by LSD Plaza, you come back, you do what I call a Z drive till you reach, that is past Bossier down there, going down on that side. You do Z, you keep doing zigzag, 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 the entire road. And I try and figure out, well, how difficult it is to really repair the surface. And you don't have to excavate or scarify, as we call it. Scarify is the process of putting the machine and grading up the road and reusing that pitch and so forth and paving back the road. So scarify is that rehabilitation of the old surface. You dig it up and you so you don't have to do all of that. There are basic minor repairs to give us. I look at Covell Street there. There was a rough area there, like TNT or someone was doing something. They pave it like, I don't know. They pave it like what up. You throw some mulch and you pave it and you break the corner by Colville Street there off Rice Road and it's boogaduk. We have no ambition in this country. We have no shame for the quality of work we put out as a people for ourselves. Who drive on the road? Is you, your uncle, your auntie, your nenen, my brother, my sister. They are all drive on the same road, you know. They are all drive on the same road. And the quality of work demonstrate lack of pride, lack of ambition, lack of commitment, lack of motivation. I left home, I went to work to show my face, to get pay. But the output in terms of quality left much to be desired. And I'm talking today about the roads. Because I passed this morning by that area. I saw the hole, I said, okay, probably they'll fix it today, Friday, they'll fix it. So I passed back, coming back down on this side by the station, radio station. I saw the hole. It's 3 days now I'm looking at the hole. I said, okay, probably they're looking for the material. Probably they're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but really and truly, my God. These things are so easy. I remember one time, I can't remember if it's local government or Ministry of Work had what they call a road patching crew that will go around with oil sand and bitumen and so forth with a roller, and they'll go around and look at areas that have challenges in the road, and they would do some road patching and so. Let me see if this call will come through. Afternoon caller, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. Mr. Selvon, are you
definitely
hearing
is the
me?
system here, caller. Definitely is the system here. All right, we have to call the techs inside to see what is happening with my phones. My phones are not functioning. All right, something is happening now, man. Something is happening now. Something good is going to happen to you. Callers, we're back inside. The tech is on the job. So we're talking this road, and I want to, ad nauseum, I want to beat this road till it gets smooth. I want to talk to it till when we finish talking, the road should be smooth and paved. That is a night crew. But I say the people responsible for those things have no shame, have no pride, have no etiquette, have no brought-up-see. Probably I'm being too harsh. I don't know. You have a caller. Caller, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
We're hearing now.
Good afternoon.
Excellent. Afternoon, madam.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Selvon, is there a representative? What area is that?
That's Marval by LSD. There,
Right.
Marval.
Is
That's
there
Digo
a
Martin Regional
representative?
Corporation.
No, right. But is there a representative that you vote for when it's
I didn't. I think the MP there is Imber. I believe Imber.
right?
I don't know the council.
And then I know. So people can't talk to their area representative.
We should, but he
and
passes
go
right there to
into
go home.
No, but right. So they don't know what to do.
So he and all that's in the hole, he has had to pass right in front of LSD
Yes,
going
but that
home.
is what I'm trying to tell you. If anybody happy going along the way, he included, well then it's happy, everybody's happy. But if I was living there, a big stone would have passed, would have blinked in his car, the same way we just kill people. No, we are a
Yes, I'm
nation,
hearing
so much
you.
murders.
I hear you.
Listen to me, Mr. Selvon. We are a nation. Every day here in Little throat slit. I'm not every day, but the wife beat up, who dead, who body they find, who limbs they find. And an area man passing, you can't bust through the same water, pick up 2 gallons of water and throw, make sure you have to do, listen to me, if that was my area, I am not waiting on nobody. I know where he lives, and even if it's not him, even if it's he scares, just run and hide. You have to have somebody, because the way they'll come and lick your foot.
Tell me about
Tomorrow
it.
morning when you hear it's election time, not even election time, the local government time and all kind of thing, right? You can't go to those people. You can't throw rubbish would have been in their house. I tell people, listen to me. People think you have to do something. You have to go in an office and wait. No. They go to school, they go to work, they go to the movies, they go to somewhere. You can't tell me they lock up in their house. So our criminals, so we so bad, we could kill our neighbor, right? If somebody watch you cut eye, you're cussing them. And Mr. Whoever owns that you went on food and lick the bottom and vote for them, right? You stand and say, it have a hole on the ground. Their house had that hole. What happened? So what are you trying to tell me? I'm not saying one person have to do it, you know, or whoever, everybody's happy. Because you're going to tell me you and all pass, you see it once, you see it twice.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying you have to do anything, but I'm just saying the same way you passed and give your civic duty on talking. My civic duty was some of that water would have been on. Every time they passed, they would have had to do something. They would have had to do. You see, when it reached home, now it won't affect us if we pass in every day. We just bypass, right? Or it won't affect it. But when it reached home, when that water hit somebody, when the gunshot pelt out and people, you know who they kill? How come I never hear? No, they don't do anybody anything in this country who is in possession. But they're murdering everybody else. They're killing, they're knocking, they're chopping, they're arresting, all kind of people. Eh? It have people responsible for that. You are paying for that. If you say it have a man there, your salary, do you pay him for him to be a member and all kind of thing? I think that they're free. When you only argue, or who pension, where they get any pension, it's yours. It's you paying them. So what foolish you should tell me what day? Anyway, I just get sick when I hear about that, right?
Thank you, caller.
We passing hale and hearty.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, so really and truly, we had to get serious as a people. We really had to get serious as a people and whole. Caller, welcome. Caller? Caller? Some seem to be around your phone there, caller. Some seem to be around your phone there. We have in the Empire box, you must welcome to the box this afternoon. Empire Rolex, the mic is yours.
Afternoon, listeners. Afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, and as I always begin, any day above ground is a good day. It is 4:30, and some people didn't make it to 4:30, so we thank God for life in this Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. Many issues on the front. I heard you were talking about the hole in the road.
Yeah.
I remember you were talking about the hole in the road, and we'll play dodgeball until something happens.
Zigzag.
That's a nice case, you know. But the ability for our ability to govern ourselves in simple matters,
like the word is,
it's not something we've been
accustomed to.
No, not without complaining and rioting or blocking road and etc. And to a large extent, I believe that is learned behavior. You know, it is also beneficial to some people because it empowers others. When you feel hopeless, not to take matters into your own hands. Some people are more relevant than others. So, all of the matters on the table.
Yeah.
This weekend, a lot of things have been begging for our attention over the past couple of days. You know, we here ended the day yesterday in talking about sexual harassment in the workplace.
Conflict on the job.
Yeah. and that's a serious issue. We were using the latest issue in the media with the attorney gentleman, and whatever the circumstances are, the details are not too important for us, but the lesson is what we need to learn. You know, that certain types of relationships are counterproductive on the workplace, and there's a need for us to maintain it in a particular way. The deeper issues is that some companies need to have policies that govern these things. A contract of employment can't envisage everything, as any contract wouldn't be able to, but definitely the company, organizations need to arm themselves to deal with these real life issues on work. You know, conflict of a nature, of that type of nature. Somebody stopped me this morning and was a guy, and he was telling me he was the victim, and he was feeling so ashamed to report it to anyone because they would laugh at him. He didn't want to be termed, you know, but you chupidi. According to Sparrow. What you dying from, people crying for? So, you know, there's the taboo on the whole issue.
Yeah.
Good, but it really raises a lot of employment issues. You know, it is not new. It's not a new scenario.
Yeah.
You know, power relationships. They're prevalent in the workplace. You have boss, supervisor, you know, and some of us, you know, it really has to do with not this particular context, but the whole issue of promotion is a very funny one, you know. You know, some of us believe promotion by all means and by any means, and with that comes a certain type of environment in which some of us are let us say, quite generous, you know, in terms of our interaction, sometimes until it gets out of hand, you know. In any case, we need to be careful as workers of how we conduct ourselves on the job, you know, in the office space.
I'm glad you say that, and I always like, as someone who focuses on quality management systems, policy starts from the top, yeah, in terms of quality management and so forth, and you drive it down from the top. The question is, to a large extent, we ask the question, how does, I don't know, organization manage their policies, and who police policies? You can't answer the policies now, what they want, and only when something happens, you say the policy is.
Yeah.
What is the, where, you know, so some companies, they are wrong. And what do we reaffirm? Do we, from time to time, have what we call, in more engineering field, we call it toolbox meeting, to talk about, hey, the day we do a briefing and so forth about what's the expectation today, or a monthly meeting with staff, where we reaffirm some of the critical things, because during the month, one or two things would have reared its head and so forth. But before we reach there, we had to ask ourselves the fundamental thing you all have been saying. Do we have proper policies to govern, yes, the work relationships, yeah, that may cause those things in the papers to flare up? And that's where we had to start from. How many companies really look at that as a policy, and if they have one, how strong is the policy, and how is the policy reinforced now? Three things.
Yes, and you're right, and you would look at companies and private sector, but let's look at the public service. Yeah. I have yet to see a circular, for want of a better word, it depends on which department is, or any regulation 2025 that treats with those things specifically. Look at our politics. I mean, we've been focusing, not we, but the media has been focusing on Mr. George and whatever has transpired with him. But if you remember our politics in the past years, we had some people in jacket and tie.
Saying some things.
Yes, we had people batting and bowling.
Yes.
Good on both sides.
Yeah.
Some batsmen and some bowlers.
Touching.
Were
fraternizing.
Yeah,
were fraternizing.
Were so-called, let's say, quote-unquote, guilty of conduct that is unbecoming.
Yeah.
I remember the former captain having to investigate somebody.
Yeah.
And the present captain had to deal with it too.
Yeah.
So it is something that pervades both teams.
Yeah.
You know, we could say, and those of us who have been around in tongue longer than I have, and you, maybe your contemporary, sir, might be able to tell me about politics of old, where we had different ministers of government or people of holders of high office who have been,
whose conduct have been questionable.
Yes, been questionable. When it comes
one wonders, you know, you say that, and I wonder, you know, I starting to dig deep now to say, if you look at the Parliament channel from time to time and how the communication is, how crisp at times, one wonder when they're away from the camera, what to expect. If in front of the camera and they know that you're being recorded, you live, little children sit and watching, want to learn about the government and so forth, watching. And some things that are said from time to time and you say, huh? Bounce manico look you give, huh? In front of the camera. What happens when the camera is not present? So one wonders what policy guides behavior in ministries relative to conduct.
So the question I want to throw out to the pavilion. I want us to throw this question to the pavilion. Do you feel that workers and employees understand their jobs? More so, do they understand what is not their job?
Okay.
So you get a little OJT or you get a little
what policies guide their behavior?
Yeah, you get a little intern, a little 3 months contract, and you go in for papers for somebody.
So should we say, have the company expose you to their policy based on conduct on the job? Based on their job description.
Yeah. And it's not just the companies in the public service too. Some of us,
well, the work environment.
As workers. Do we know exactly what we're supposed to do and not supposed to do anymore? Are we so in love with the idea of job and employment that we don't
look at the fine print.
We don't have lines anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have boundaries anymore for the dollar. You know, the boss sending you to pick up your churn.
Yeah.
The boss sending you to play a mark.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Soup tell you. You know.
Well, bring some lunch for me and go and buy some soup down the road.
Yeah. And because you feel that is your supervisor,
I should do. Is that part of my job to bring lunch for you?
That's what I'm saying. We having a little barbecue here. Go down the road, do this, do that.
Them table down the road by that thing.
Take my car and go and carry my niece in the grocery.
Yeah.
And what about our employment? What about what they work?
Yeah.
So bad makes us not understand what we should do and we shouldn't do. Is it that we don't understand or we choose to? Call us 342-0081 the pavilion. You'll be the judge.
I just want to pay a bill, you know.
Is it that we don't understand our jobs? We're not too sure? Or really and truly, we feel in our minds, listen, is a wait and end by our conduct again true? Getting true.
Caller, welcome. Caller? Caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon.
Afternoon, my friend.
How are you guys going?
Excellent. Excellent hearing from you, man.
Yeah, man. I have the time today, so I tuned into the show and listening. Long story short, our culture has developed for quite some years now, maybe a couple of decades. It has seriously matured. It has made its way into different sectors. private sectors also, unfortunately, our schools targeting our youth. A culture of just not caring, or a culture of intentionally providing less than capable service. And one could clearly make the statement that it has started from the top, our leaderships, governments. You hear it every day on the news. Yeah, you all had the conversation yesterday about public sector utilities. In 2025, persons still complain about not getting water. So I think that culture has really developed of, just substandard. That's just the mentality that persons want to push onto you to, not strive for excellence.
Caller, stay on the line.
Caller, let me engage you in what we are talking about at present. Do you feel that as an employee, as a worker, you understand your job clearly, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, or you're willing to go the little extra mile, so you could, you're willing to, you could go and play a mark, they could send you with an umbrella.
During working hours?
Yeah. They could tell you wait here and come back if any police come, move the car. Do you understand clearly what is your remit as an employee in your organization, or you're willing to give a little?
And I'm glad you asked me that question, because you remind me of a statement that came to mind a couple days ago. We use the English language, we speak English language, but clearly some persons, Trinidadians, create their own type of English, right? We all have a job description. You could have a contract verbally or orally. Most times than not, you have a written contract. You have a job description. So a person, the company, the employer will itemize what role, what functions they want you to do, and at what periods. And more times than not, they might add any other related functions related to your position. If you are a clerk, functions related to your job that may arise from time to time. In terms of me, I clearly understand my job.
Correct.
I have read my job description, and even though as a new employee relative, I still continue to ask questions if necessary. So I don't take it upon myself to assume,
yes,
or do anything without clarifying with my senior first. So I stick to the guidelines. The workplaces are professional.
Have you ever had to say no so far yet? Have you ever had to say no thanks?
I have experience quite maybe possibly in previous employments.
Right.
Based on the culture again, come back to Trinidad. Sometimes people, even in the workplace, they're trying to see what they could figure out on the low, what they could maneuver on the low in terms of limiting and putting an end to your career and to move up the ladder in some way, shape, or form. So, you would have to learn, unfortunately, and I definitely say unfortunately, you have to learn ways to maneuver those situations.
All right. Thanks, caller.
You see the cricket, somebody throw you a bouncer or a spinner. And
yes.
Thanks, caller.
Yeah?
Excellent.
Blessings.
Good. Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, right? You can have as many policies as you want, right?
Yes.
In so much as you have as many laws as you want. But as long as there is poor enforcement, detection, and prosecution of any of them, it's a fail. And one of the biggest problems we have is that the change in the demographics of regards to HR. Long time, HR was the mediatory body between the management and the workers.
Good point.
Of late, we find HR being the enforcement arm of the management. So when you have something like that, and you have a manager that is misbehaving towards a worker, who do you feel gets in trouble? It's definitely not the manager.
Correct.
So this is why we have the problems that we see now. Yet because now I am very saddened by the fact that, especially this present administration, that they came out of the bowels of unions. And I have been clamoring forever for the private sector to have a public sector union, seeing that all public sector have private sector unions. And the fact that this present administration came out of unions and they still have union people there, it's a crying shame that they never implemented anything like that. So because you have to have an overseer. You see how our overseer for the law is the Privy Council, who 95% of the time they tell our judiciary, go in the back, kneel down, stretch out your hand, and take 2 blows. That is what we need. Because as long as you have the people who have to be the watchdogs not performing the duty that they originally were supposed to be, because it has changed. The demographic has changed as where they are living. They're no longer living on the borderline, so to speak. They're living on the side of the upper side, and then they pretend to be a borderline, but they are not. So this is why we have a problem, and until that can be fixed, we will continue to have an abuse of the worker non-stop ad nauseum.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you. So, come down to workers' rights.
Well, he made a good point there about HR.
Yeah.
You know, where does HR and the HR experts will come in and they will see, because often enough that's where the worker runs to for coverage and intervention.
Caller, welcome.
Yes, umpires. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Keep saying that the correct terminology is a batter now, not a batsman anymore.
A batter.
No, it's official, a batter. Yeah. Anyhow, I think I told you all yesterday that in the up to now, the local public service, right, is based on it operates under a personnel management system and not an HR system. So that's, for example, we still have like a custom officer 1, a custom officer 2, a clerk 1, a AO2, AO4, AO5 classifications, right? And unless that do not change, we always have problems, right? Another thing is that once you enter the public service, there's a code of ethics, an official document called a code of ethics, and every worker, whether you come as a temporary worker or whatever it is, appointed officer, your department, your HR or personnel department is supposed to give you a copy of that. Right? They call it a code of ethics and also a job description. Nobody have no right to go and buy no papers or no worker. You know, if you want to do it, you do it at your own peril. Well, no supervisor cannot tell a junior or subordinate to go and get papers or pack a cigarette for me.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks.
I'm going back to the hole in the road.
Yes.
I was fortunate to work in a hole. You know, I just wonder if I was one human being or 2 or 3 or 4. Anyhow, this thing, what is happening on this photos and thing in the road is in batching the mixture, right? You're supposed to put a proportion of coarse aggregate, right? Fine aggregate, and your bitumen oil, or what they call your cola soil.
Yeah.
Right? And most times you will see that the mix is disproportionate. Right? You will see, if you watch on the road, you will see the coarse material almost protruding in the air.
Yes.
Right? Because the quality control is not a priority. Again, some years ago, about 10, 20 years ago or more, there used to be a batching plant in Agua Santa.
Yes.
Up to where living up here on the highway, right? And quality control is a big factor. There we go. When a truck arrives with a load of asphalt, and the supervisor on the spot say, he turned back the truck if he's not satisfactory with how it looks.
Right? So are you saying these engineers are failing us terribly in terms of...
well, the frontline person is a work supervisor or a road officer, and then the engineer will be the superior officer or the superior.
So all these people are failing us then?
Who's on the ground and the road and all the road officer, right? He is the person supposed to determine whether the suitability of the bitumen mix is the appropriate mix.
Okay. All right.
So it's all these things, but a key thing is that we do not, presently, is personnel management and not HR management.
All right. Thanks, caller. Appreciate it.
So the caller, the guy before, previous guy, mentioned something about any other related duties. And there's a phrase that they call complying or obeying legal instructions.
Yeah.
And those phrases are used. So could you imagine now you have an environment with a sweet boy supervisor. He don't even have to be supervisor. And the workers under him, he understands that they don't know left from right. They don't know their working hours. They don't know their lunch hours. They don't know what are their rights. They don't know what their roles and their responsibilities. All they know, they're getting a work and they have a work. They dress up nice. Very nice. All the gear. But they don't understand a lot about the environment and the boundaries of their workspace. So it is easy to be lured into situations where there is compromise.
You know what this causes that to a large extent? Favor. Our favor from the boss, because I want to leave early, so I will give in here because it was something down the road.
Well, they tell you have to stoop to conquer, you know?
Yeah, so I go and buy the doubles for the boss.
Yeah.
I go and play with the pick two or the play mark for the boss.
Yeah.
Because here we're going on, when I want to run away early and go in my child's school.
I get to leave.
So I give and take because I want to bend the rules too. So it's a lawless society.
So when we come back, we will examine, do workers understand their job in the workplace?
Coolers out. We'll be back.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959 or 384-2232.
This summer, give your child skills of a lifetime with several boot camp. Children between the ages of 5 to 17 come enjoy Children Iron Chef competition. Your child will learn to prepare healthy breakfast, lunch, dinner, CPR, first aid, and conflict management. With field trip, your child will be given free apron and certification upon completion. Call 492-7397 or 336-4935. Institute of Health and Fitness Company Limited, located at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Tunapuna.
For the month of June, registration will only be $50 to book your space, and you can pay the tuition fee before the start of camp.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MCDU.
And every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight,
I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in
every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight
for Orisha, The Way of Life.
We rolling big when the jackpot hit. We rolling big when the jackpot hit. We rolling big when the jackpot hit. Play way fast cash, that is the fit. We rolling big. Fast cash and play way take win. No extra spend, just vibes and luck. Play way and fast cash turn up. We rolling, yes we rolling big. Fast cash and play way take win. Mega mix or monster pick. Jackpot from 10,000 quick.
Jackpot starting at $10,000 have now been added to NLCB's Playway and Fast Cash games. Wager on Playway Mega Mix or Fast Cash Monster Draw for a chance to win the jackpot after every draw. Don't miss out. Visit NLCBgames.com for details. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Get hot this summer. Oh no, we mean H-U-T, as in hot days mean hot deals with Pizza Hut. Get one large pizza plus single breadsticks for only $135, or go bigger with 2 large pizzas, family breadsticks, and cinnamon rolls for just $290. All your favorite pizzas with all the toppings you love all summer long. So head to the Hut and get your hot deals while this offer is super hot. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
Come shop at the biggest African market in the Caribbean with its African-inspired art, craft, jewelry, clothing, books, delicious food. We're at the Queen's Park Savannah, transformed into the Lidjasu Omuale Emancipation Village for the 2025 Pan-African Festival TT, commemorating emancipation, July 25th to August 1st. Also, enjoy jazz, pan, calypso, reggae, dance, drumming, bois, art exhibits, and for the children, the African Heritage Camp and workshops. The village opens 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Free admission before 3 p.m. Just $40 after. Kids under 12, free all day. Bring your family, your friends, your vibes, and let's celebrate the 187th anniversary of emancipation, our heritage and future together. The Emancipation Support Committee, shaping sustainable futures through reparatory justice.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast, heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM radio. Here my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
When your corporate event needs more than just food, it needs an experience, a Michelin experience. From mouth-watering buffet spreads to beautiful packed takeaway boxes, the Michelin Experience Limited delivers more than just wheels. We deliver flavor. We deliver satisfaction. We deliver excellence straight to your boardroom. Whether it's a conference, board meeting, or a retirement function, go beyond basic. Go bold. Go Michelin Experience Limited. Call us now at 1-868-474-2250 or follow us on social media at Michelin Experience. Great food, exceptional service every time.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John
every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon, and every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m.
live on the street 919 FM as he talks about Lviv, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in Lviv are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, goji, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health, performance, and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember,
every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon, and every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m.
live on the street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
We are back from the pavilion. And this is what we had. During the break, we had some KFC. So I want you all to join us and chase the adventure with KFC this Java. We bring in the heat with 3 epic stops across TNT. July 12th, tomorrow, July 12th, KFC South Park. July 25th, KFC Independence Square. August 16th, KFC Scarborough, Tobago. This Saturday, tomorrow, this Saturday, South Park is where the adventure begins. Chase the crunch with KFC from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Join your favorite hosts, Junior Lee, Chiney, and Whitney, and unlock the full Java experience. Step into the 360 bucket. Explore our augmented reality world and win Java Chicks, kits, exclusive merch, and free KFC. Come sample the all-new KFC tenders. Dip, dunk, drip to win. Live entertainment and finger-licking fun. Java unlocked. Adventure activated. Only at KFC. We are back.
Yes, and we are asking ourselves, we are asking the pavilion, do you get the impression that these workers, the public service, some in the private sector too, very young and impressionable, do they understand their jobs? Do they understand their work environment? Do they understand the boundaries and the limitations and what is not other related duties? Or they want to work? And by all means, they will keep it.
I want to run away from work sometime, you know, and if I feel if I do that for the boss, I wouldn't get to leave early. Caller, welcome.
Good evening, the Empire. Mr. Selvan, you look like a KFC man. So, hey, good evening, Mr. Ronaldo.
Speaking.
Happy to see you guys here today.
Bless.
Mr. Ronaldo, I understand what you're saying, and let me tell you, when you're doing a job, right, you know that the supervisor is the one to evaluate you at the end of the year. He's the one to give you recommendation for promotion. So you'll do anything in your power, although you know your job description, to satisfy his needs in that sense of, you know, go and play a mark or go and get something from my niece and all that, right? Because you don't want to go against the status quo, which is he is the boss. He can make your life a living hell, or he can make your job much more easier. Because, let's be honest, out there is not a fair working environment unless you know someone, right? And that's for the little that I look into Trinidad, and you know, now getting accustomed to the whoever, because you said something yesterday to me You know, you ever went to a party and your friends and them get a dance and you didn't get a dance. But I never went to a party in Trinidad. In my younger days, I came to Trinidad when I was already adult and married. And so you see the difference. So you will try your best, although you know your job description, to satisfy the needs of your boss. Not no sexual wise or anything. So you do certain things because you think, well, yeah, in his good favor.
It will work for you in the future as a favor. And he will ease you up. Instead of giving you a D grade, he might give you a B or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. So
so you're compromised now. You're compromised.
Yeah, you know. So you stoop to conquer, to speak.
All right. Everybody had a strategy.
And for the other one with the sexual harassment, the reason why we laugh at the questions. I see it kind of funny because expressing myself across here on podcasts is different from in Trinidad. I can speak freely across here. I can see any words. I think you guys have tapped out.
We are checked and we control environment. Radio in Trinidad.
Right. So Miss Simona say it's okay if the lady approve of the advances.
Yeah.
But across here, we do a lot of training, active shooter, natural disasters, how to react, and we do go through the policies of sexual harassment.
Okay.
But I will be honest with you, it takes a lot for a woman to come forward to make an accusation of sexual harassment because they don't already pay no mind to them. And I will give you an example. Look at these celebrities. It's 20 years later, these ladies coming out and saying they were sexual harassment or the other word. So
interesting point.
And we have a box in work here that you could place a letter or
a little anonymous letter about some problem.
Yes. Yeah. So, and to me, where I experience in work, right, there's a lot of people at the job. Every individual have their own personality, and they have their own threshold of seeing something and not seeing something.
Okay.
Like, let's say, for instance, you, Mr. Rollins, you and this lady have a reaction, and you will do your little flirting. And when I see you now, I'll say, yeah, okay, playboy. But other people will find it offensive, and they will drop in an anonymous letter, and you will be under investigation.
Okay.
So what is good for some, the threshold is different.
Yeah.
And the last thing before I leave, it's not acceptable over here to have flirtatious. Like, if I'm going to speak to a female, I cannot lean up on the wall and pose and talk to them in that sense of way, because that is a violation to the policy. My posture have to be in an appropriate manner. I have to stand and I have to speak. I cannot lean up.
So the policy addresses posture as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is, and then when I spoke about the scrub that the young women used to have on, there's a lot of cosmetics over here. They do surgery, so the body is different. But there are clauses in the policy states that if the scrubs is protocol, but then you could wear a jacket, or you could wear an apron, or the top that you wear could be a little bit longer. That is the lady discretion. You have to use that if you don't want people. So that's my point of view, guys.
Thank you, caller. Do we just want a job?
Yeah.
At all costs.
Anything for the job.
Anything for the job.
Okay. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I don't want to play around. The fact is that you need public service reform. You need to deal with the Public Service Commission. Look at the relationship between those commissioners and the Director of Personnel Administration. What is the role of the director? Because my understanding is that she does everything, and all the service company, all those people come to do is to sign documents, look at file, who's supposed to vote it, put it before them, and they sign it and all that. So I don't know what are the real responsibility. Since the reform was attempted, or probably an attempt at reform was sometime in 1992 or thereabout by Draper, nothing has been done with respect to reform in the public service. The question about job description. In England, when people get into the public service, they give them a desk manual. Those people have not done no desk manual. And as the earlier caller told you, that it's a matter of personal administration, not human resource, but they have human resource people active or performing in various ministries. The thing has to be reformed. You have people in the public service who don't understand the vision, mission of the department. Wow. They don't understand who. The question you spoke last time about process mapping, they don't know the function, those people who are above them, the Clark 1, Clark 2, Clark 3, Clark 4, AO, whatever it is for them. They don't understand. They just go to work and a file is before them and they're working on that file, whatever somebody tell them to do. So the question of training. So I'm saying I wouldn't go around these things. I want to be very blunt. You need public service reform. You need to reform this whole notion of the Public Service Commission, because they are totally ineffective. Totally. That's a waste of time. I'm not. What I'm saying is that you need to. I'm not saying that you're going to disband, but you need to reform that. Yeah. You need to put people in. I don't know what they're doing.
We need to modernize it. We need to modernize it.
Yes, modernize the whole thing.
Yes,
you need to professionalize the thing.
Yes. Good point. Yeah. See the review start there? Empire Rolex?
Yeah, we need...
Because we have expectation, but there's no guideline in how we go about realizing that expectation. So we say sexual harassment in nature, as the previous caller was saying, of posture in terms of conversation and so forth. What are the regulation or the guidelines in the public service that determine the threshold? Yeah?
How far we could
go before it is determined harassment? How far I determine that the supervisor is overstepping his bound by sending me to buy birthday card or birthday cake because it's a birthday in the office.
You want the boss driving around whole day?
Yeah, looking for cake and balloon for the office.
Driving around with the boss.
Because I'm sure you
have serious work at the office.
But Christmas time, you see a set of them putting up decoration. Is that part of the job description, to put decoration in the office and put Christmas tree and lighting Christmas tree?
It's Christmas time, sir.
But it's a part of the job description.
Sir, it is Christmas time.
And then when some go wrong, they will hold it.
We have a Christmas club, and that's what we just do for Christmas, sir.
Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon to your listeners. I want to agree with Mr. the last caller, and also add to what he was saying, because you see this thing that where workers in the public service is concerned, part of the number one issue that we continue to get poor service from these places is because that we really paying supervisors who are not doing their job. Because if in the private service, supervisors can organize and put things in place to get workers working properly, to provide their clients with professional and satisfactory service. There is nothing stopping us from having supervisors who will take the same type of action in the public service. If it is their duty to issue your warnings, and when you pile up a certain amount of warnings, then you're in line to get whatever disciplinary action is necessary, then so be it. The supervisors need to understand what their role and function is also, and stop blaming the lower end of the employment ladder for their shortcomings, because it is your responsibility to deal with the shortcomings of the workers below you, below your supervision. It's not just about blaming them. You have to know what your job description is and what measures it have for you to take.
All right. Caller, something happened there. But point taken. Excellent point. But to a large extent, how many workers are exposed to, in thorough detail, terms and conditions of work, company policy relative to what we could, what we can do, when and how to do it and so forth. Or it's just you're so excited to get the job. You're probably given the manual, you know, you straight aside, I don't get the work already, where you showing me this book for. Only when something happens, we want to join the crew, the club. We want to join the behavior. You know, we have in the workplace we call Norman practice. Norman practice every Christmas, that week before Christmas, we start to decorate. And we start a thing, and sometimes we have a little internal Christmas party in the office. That day we bring some little drinks and some little eats, and we stop half day. I don't know if that is part of the terms and condition of work that we enjoy. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, caller. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Why we are beating around the bush with this topic? You all are two grown men, and for the majority of the people that they're hiring, unless they're mentally deficient or something, once you are adult, even if you can't read, you are expected to do certain things. And I find we are just playing smart with foolishness. Because once they come to a job, you do it. But some people don't mind climbing the ladder. You're talking about what they should do and what they shouldn't do. People do what they want to do, right? And it costs them nothing. It's either you do the job. Some people do it for spite. Some people do it. You all know that. There are some people, how they reach there is not because of the job that they did. It's what they do within the job. Everybody knows that, from president to pundit.
Preach.
Right, from president to pundit.
Preach.
So why we have to be so frightened? And so what they had to know, and they had to know. They blink and know what they're supposed to do. You come to the street. It is not kindergarten children that you're hiring. The teacher say, when the teacher come, think the board, make sure the board clean. Where's kindergarten children are dealing with? It's adult. They're adults, and I know they may be. As singing Sandra, we have a cult here, you know, of talking. So people just feel this kind of fear thing. Singing Sandra said it big and bold. You keep your money, I keep my honey. End of story. What is this about? What is this about? I am not saying that people, they might not do somebody with a gun, hold somebody with a gun or attack them. I'm not talking about those few cases. People mostly can't help. I don't know. But talking about wearing your clothes and putting a coat, you know what you have to do. Once you respect yourself, you will be respected. But then again, some people don't mind not being disrespectful because that's where they reach. So you all don't know that?
Thank you
don't
for
know
that.
It might have people who, there would be people who harass you to harass them.
Yeah.
So I don't know nothing more, you know. I'm not saying
I understand what you're saying. I understand. Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So you all are bosses, you all are big men, and the one who walked with Jesus Christ, cell phone. You know, remember you walked the road with Jesus. So you don't come here and say, and if I dance, and they don't know the protocol, who don't know the protocol when they go to work? Who? Because if I come here tomorrow and I'm supposed to sweep, and you have a little rules, you'll tell me, I don't know. You'll tell me, aye. You're not supposed to go there. They don't play baby, all they do like it's real. This is a baby thing, right? So I'm listening.
Well, she ain't buying no excuse. She said they well know what they do.
Well know what they do. Deliberate.
Yes, deliberate. But
yeah. And you know, when you went with the supervisor, Harry, to buy the cake, your skirt kind of slide up a little bit. I know deliberately. You pull it back up when you sit down in the front seat to go and buy the cake for the birthday party. We are a relaxed environment. We go and buy cake and so forth. I understand.
Me and the boss good.
Me and the boss good. 5 years I work in here, we good. We solid. Good. We go and buy cake.
Yeah, when Granny died, he gave me extra days.
Yeah, you
allowed 3 days bereavement. You got a week off.
Yeah. No complaint.
So he taking back his days then. Caller,
welcome. Caller, you're connecting, but like, I don't know, somewhere around the internet there.
So she doubts, she casts doubt
On the innocence,
to
on the innocence of the worker, yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Empire again. So Mr. Ronaldo and Mr. Selman, I disagree with the caller. I don't want them to wear no coat. Where we are, you know, because it's entertainment for us in the job. But Mr. Ronaldo, you be honest with me, right? Have you ever sent out one of your employees to buy something for you or to do something for you or left out something?
Sir, I have no such power. The powers that you think I may have, I do not have, sir. And I never tried it. I actually find it quite, when I see workers doing all sorts of craziness, in my mind I say, soon will be the day when the boss will say, come home with me. Come home with me. Don't come to work. Don't report to work today. Report by me. Because when I see the desperation, when I see the desperation behind promotion, getting an edge off the person next to you, you want more hours, you get to leave. You want to know how Sherry get to leave? How you beating your whole week, you work until 4:30. You studying how Sherry get to leave, but
are we behind, eh? We behind schedule, eh?
We behind schedule.
She get to leave early.
Every day Sherry have a story. When I see what workers are willing to do, I say, okay, you know, it could only end one way if it's taken out of context. Yeah. And there's nothing, HR will tell you, you have to be a good worker, be a model worker.
Team player.
There's no I in team. You ever hear that? You have no I in team. You know? The staff party, you don't want to come.
Go along to get along.
We have luncheon, you don't want to come. Right? We're going by the bar, you don't want to come. Right? You're not part of the team. You're not part of the team.
You're not adapting to the culture.
You're not acclimatizing.
Yes.
You're not acclimatizing to the work culture.
And that's an excellent point.
It's a peer pressure thing now, eh? It comes down to peer pressure.
Yeah.
Because we used to have, the last conference, we used to have like any meetings, used to finish at 6. But some ladies used to go conference meeting at 9.
Yes,
you understand?
You like
so when you say Mr. Ronaldo is very true and correct. All right, guys, lock out.
All right, solid. So some is deliberate, and I think sometimes the backlash or the complaint does come when either party doesn't get what they want. So supervisor make his advance, he or she doesn't get what they want, so suddenly your appraisal look a particular way. Yeah, your appraisal is very wanting. Yeah, in the vocabulary as placed there by your supervisor because you didn't go along. You're playing hardball. So okay, I'll deal with you in your appraisal. Some people get promoted and some people wonder, well, how you get promoted, but you late often, or she's late often and so forth, never delivering on time and so forth.
And some people, no matter what time they come, they're never late.
Yeah.
They're just never late. And it's these inconsistencies in work, not only fueled by jealousy, but fairness, cause a lot of grievances in the workplace. You know, they cause a lot of issues in the workplace. But again, we stick into the central question. We don't want to stray this afternoon. Do you feel, the pavilion, that these workers knowingly encourage a particular type of behavior and relationship in work? Or they knew? You know, some of us is prey on the new people, eh?
Yeah.
Because she's an OJT. Is the OJT office center here? She really want the job. You may not know that young ladies or young man circumstance.
Yeah.
You know? And she just, somebody tells she, that is Nigel. If you're good with he,
you're inside.
You'll get the contract.
Inside. No, you're inside.
He go extend the contract.
Yeah.
And in your mind, your processor don't start to work.
I could buy Meccano, boy.
Yeah, you don't start to. So, you ignoring things that you see.
Caller, welcome.
Here I am. You
conversation there. What I could say, as a former public servant myself,
right,
that kind of behavior is almost, almost null and void now. Workers are very vigilant. If a boss or supervisor has a relationship with a subordinate, the majority of workers will expose it. They will write the competent authorities, right, and do what they have to do, because merit plays a big portion, right?
That happens now in the workplace, caller?
Huh?
That happens now? Oh. Okay.
I was saying merit plays a major factor in upward mobility in the public service now.
But what is merit?
Merit means you have superior qualifications. It's a combination of experience and qualifications. Now remember, at the end, there's a quarterly system of appraisal in the public service now. People don't do it, but quarterly. So supervisors supposed to interview their subordinate, right? And at the end of the year, they'll do a overall performance appraisal, which then has to be submitted to the Service Commission, whether the SASC or the Public Service Commission, and it's based on that, your performance appraisal, when opportunities arise, or as they say, occasion, you will be considered, right, for a permanent appointment. And remember, education, since this GATE and even the dollar to dollar came into effect, a lot of public servants educated themselves, right? And nobody ain't going and sleep with no boss in front of people who educate themselves to get promotion now. It's not that easy. I understand happening in a little parlor or in a little 2x4 supermarket or something. But not in the public service anymore. Right? Not in the public, I can tell you that. Right?
Excellent.
Yeah? Okay.
Well, I don't totally agree with the caller. Simply because...
No, his opinion, no.
Yes, because by
his view, yeah.
His logical deduction will say that everybody who's promoted is promoted on merit.
By the rule of thumb.
By the rule of thumb. Because he alleges that people don't fool around in the workplace no more to get by. Everybody, they set the exam and who passes get promoted. We are saying, what we were discussing today, we were discussing the fact coming off on the sexual harassment issue, right? I was saying that a lot of workers now are dressed nice, go to work, but I doubt that they understand the terms and the conditions that apply to their work. They understand where other related duties begin and related duties stop, because you hear that in the public service and sometimes in the private sector. They tell you, well, once the HR will tell you, once it's other related duties, you're supposed to obey our instruction. And the caller call in and say he finds that when you go to HR for advice or redress, they tend to side with the company. Good. In telling the worker that they either belligerent or they are unwilling to be a team player. So there's a lot of force on new vulnerable people to comply with some very ridiculous things that, I mean, we will know have nothing to do with your job.
12 o'clock, just go and play the mark for me then, boy.
Because we were looking at the past issues of sexual harassment even in government.
Yeah.
Right? With the both sides, the batting and the bowling side, they have had experiences. And we were saying that in those circumstances, when you look at what the employees were told to be doing, it had nothing to do with their jobs. Nothing at all. So we were asking the pavilion, do you think that workers are willingly doing these things?
Are they aware of their role and responsibility? Yeah. What is expected of them on the job?
Well, one of the things, I mean, I wasn't listening to the program so much so that as I jump in my car, I heard a lady calling.
Yes.
And she was saying something, and maybe what you just explained there, she could answer that question. We are all big people, and everybody know what is. I mean, yes, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what you're supposed to do. Even if you have a job description and they say, well, any other related duties, as they would usually say, you must know what is a related duty. So go in and do something like where you just say the car be
play a mark for the boss.
Nah, that car be
and
we're talking about URP.
But let me tell you something, those things are prevalent in the workplace, you know. Go and bring lunch from here.
Yeah.
Go down the road, and that's prevalent a number of workplaces.
If you have a good relationship with your friend in your workplace and you going for lunch and he doing some extra duty, you could tell him, well, buy XYZ for me.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. That's something
No, but we're talking specifically about power relationships.
Power relationships.
Supervisor
Not
to
equal, not
subordinate.
colleague, not parallel colleague.
No, manager to supervisor. Good?
I don't see that as... I don't see those things really as a problem, even if it happens. That's not really a problem in the workplace in terms of power, unless it started to get outside of the relationship and you start having things like sexual harassment and that kind of thing, you know, people giving you things and bossing you around for
but you think the measurement, you think the measurement of power and influence start with that? Let me start somewhere.
Well, that's I was not going to say that
I ain't starting at the top. I start somewhere.
It has some people, women especially, who sometimes generally believe that if the operator sitting away with the male boss,
right,
that they'll get certain favors.
Right. That's the gist of what,
yes. That's a general thing. I mean, it has some women, not all women.
Not all, of course, not all. Of course, not all.
There's some women who believe that, listen, I could flaunt certain things and I will get certain favors, I will be treated a certain way, nobody will come around me, that kind of thing. I know that happens in certain places, more like places like casinos and, you know, not necessarily in the bank. And well, it may happen there too, but I would more see that happening in those kind of more semi-formal or informal kind of work relationship kind of thing. But I mean, even in big companies, you have policies and you know that guides the working relationship. Even the informal part of the working relationship, there are policies that speak to that kind of thing. So it's almost impossible to do that in a formal environment, like in a bank or even.
So from where you sit, you find these policies prevalent?
Yeah. Most workplaces would have policies, except for the smaller organizations. The smaller organizations, a lot of them may not have policies, and you think those kind of relationships tend to be prevalent. But larger, more formal organization, you will hardly have those kind of things happening. And if it happened, it will not be something that they would want to report, because it's a culture.
Right.
You know, in the workplace.
Well, what do you say to the accusation that HR
condones?
One person says that long ago, HR was more middle in terms of personnel management, but he found that today they seem to be a direct appendage to whatever management wants. So there's hardly redress. Hardly you find HR telling the boss or somebody above in authority you were wrong.
Okay, so really and truly, HR, human capital management, is really supposed to be advocate for the worker and advocate for the employer.
Right.
So you play a middle of the road kind of role, right? You were really supposed to be advocate for both sides. What happens is that the owners of capital, the people who hire you, they don't necessarily see things like that.
Right.
Right? They see that we hire you to do a job to keep the workforce in a certain check in a certain place. And if you're not doing that, we don't care about what you think about them. We hire you to do something and you do what we tell you to do. Right? Or what you're supposed to do. HR plays a more sensitive, supposed to play a more sensitive, social, sensitive kind of relationship in the workplace. It doesn't necessarily play that role in most places. Even in the formal environment, those who would have good knowledge of HR does not understand that.
Yeah.
Right? They see it as just advocate for employer.
Right.
And not necessarily advocate for employee. But remember, HR is supposed to, in the workplace, is supposed to bring a certain level of comfort and understanding of the working environment, the culture, foster good working relationship among all the parties. And if for whatever reason that is not happening, you will have dispute arising in the workplace. You'll have dispute arising from the ground up, because you'll find that people will see HR as a bad thing. People will see HR as a
bias.
Not just
rubber
bias,
stamp.
Afraid to go to HR. Anytime
Yes.
HR call me, I'm still making sweet eye because
Yes.
I do something wrong. You know that HR is not supposed to be that in the workplace.
Yeah, I did a mediation the other day, and the client was asking me, say, the boss, what we talking here, going back to HR? And I tell him no, but understand that they're reporting duties and responsibilities I have. So for instance, for you to get this time off to have this session, I had to go through HR. You couldn't decide. Remember, you're the client in the company, and the company has decided to facilitate, which means you'll be taking company time to work. But his fear was if HR know, if I going back to HR. So I guess some of this fear could be justified and some could not, you know, as Umpire Matterson just explained. But the culture has it that, because theoretically, if HR does what HR is supposed to do, unions will have a lot of problems.
They'll have less work to do.
They'll have less work to do. They'll become very, very scaled down.
Well, yeah, I understand.
And very top companies, Mr. Madison will tell you, have very good HR and the union density. Look at the union density in high-performing organizations.
Like the
Almost nil.
Well, and I'm going to say HR understand their role in those organizations, but a lot of organizations, HR...
It's not so much to understand the role. It's more the mandate given to them by senior management. Most of the time, HR don't sit on the board by the boardroom table. They take instructions.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So most of the time, they tell you, you have to earn your space in the C-suite. You have to earn your space at the boardroom table. So you find HR are more or less given a rubric to work by. And they work by that. They work like robots. You didn't do this, this is what we're supposed to do. It are no shades, I agree. And that is one of the issues with HR today, you know.
Mr. Matheson, you would know that we have seen in our IR practice some of the unforced errors that HR cause. Some of the things that end up in the court should not end up where it end up.
Right, the point I was getting at really is HR as the individual, not the office or the chair.
Right.
Do what is in the best interest for they to pay their mortgage. Really, that's the point I'm getting at.
All right.
So that's why the conflict with union and so forth exists, because HR is not being in the center road, to ensure that policy on both sides are adhered to. HR is just supporting the company's view, which from time to time may be wrong. Because as far as HR concerned, is them hire me, once I make the boss them happy. And some bosses, as Matters know, we've been down this road before, say, I don't care to pay them in court. For them, HR know that's wrong, but what the boss says, I know it's wrong. As HR, I'm a professional, but the boss say fire them, so I fire them. And then I go down in court and I make up something and I hire Matheson to make up some little foolishness. We know we got lost, we wrongfully dismiss the man. Because HR went along to get along, because I have a bill to pay and the boss say fire them. I know Matheson. I big up Matheson here for that. He walked away from a job for that reason, you know. That the boss say fire, he say no, that's wrong. That's against all my training, the practice, good industrial relationship, everything. But if you want to do that, get somebody else, not me. But how many HR practitioners going to do that? The boss say do that, them is them money, yes? Here what I say, is them money, is them other pay I going along, yes, I have my mortgage to pay.
How many professionals can do that? Or how much can afford? You don't know if Mr. Matheson had a lotto ticket will make him be able to do that. But principle is principle.
No, Matheson principle and integrity that have him being one of the most successful IR practitioners in Trinidad, because he stand on certain principles.
The little girl OJT who come in the work, she now all that principle you talking about, you know. She's working 2 years now.
She got up with the OJT.
The little OJT that she didn't see her contract. She get through. They send her there to work. Somebody behind the office. and he explained, pull her in the office. Yeah. Somebody pull her in the office, and that person explaining what she have to do. She not reading that, you know. You understand where workers are in 2025, you know. Ask how many workers have seen their contract of employment. Seen it and read it. And not only read it to understand what is missing from it.
Well, if I sign it, I have to see it. Right?
I mean to say understand it.
If I sign it, doesn't matter. If I sign it, that means I see it and I should have a copy of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You should have a copy. Yeah.
If you tell me, all of us, everybody have a contract of employment.
Right.
Whether you sign one or you sign one, whether you write one or you didn't get a written one, you have a contract of employment.
Correct.
So nobody tell you, you do have a contract of employment. Once they're paying you, you
there is a contract,
offer acceptance and consideration, you have a contract, right? The better thing for an employer to do is to give a person a written contract. The reason is that a person can't come down the road and say, this was in my contract, or this they had me doing, and now I am doing it. Right? You can't say that. So it will be a good thing, and this is free advice today. It will be a good thing for an employer to have a written contract to all his or her employees.
I'm going to take one caller and you'll expand on that. Caller, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
Yeah, to the umpires and to the umpires and everyone. Well, I would say I was listening to the conversation from the inception, so now I'll pack up on it. For me personally, just to summarize quickly, I believe I understand what's my role and function, my job. I have a written contract, right? One. But the organization I work for, sometimes they wait to multitask. So what I do, I go direct to my supervisor, manager, say, listen, they want me to do this, that. Whenever I came to do this. Yes, I am a driver who I can drive all the different vehicles in the compound, from the class 3 to the class 5. I can drive everything. I'm skilled at that. I say, but if you want me to drive the van and go and do that, I say X, Y, Z. I put it clear. Say, remember what I came here to do. And that is it. So, but I think one of the problems, because I experienced it in an organization before, what happened is that for some people, they try to, as you rightfully said just now, I'm a job, I'm just doing that. I think the culture has it now. I don't really business about anybody anymore. The principles are slowly and surely coming out of, being thrown away out of the window. I try my best to stand up by exactly what it is, because the industry I work in, we have to always be aware, safely operate equipments. Besides being a trailer driver, I also certified with HIAB, well, there's really a lorry loader, as well as forklift. So for a certain level, I think. So you have to be safe. So there's always time I question too much as to what we need to do that. So I believe HR to an extent, sometimes they want to go with that is what the status quo say, so I'm going with that. There's sometimes view me as a troublemaker, but I say it's not being a troublemaker. We have to stand up for what it is. That is what it's supposed to be, because it can spin on you.
Point. Excellent point, caller.
They say you have to show initiative. You have to show initiative.
I always tell you, one company I work with, multinational, and they always say, we are here to work to rule. We are a favor from you. Work to rule. We thought we was protesting at time, but they started to laugh, but they said, thank God, let's keep protesting, work to rule. Because we have rules we want you to follow that will make us as a company productive. We don't want to create your own. You understand?
So you didn't have to go and play no lotto for the boss.
No. The multinational, them kind of thing, but you crazy or what? You come to do something and it's measured. They have what we call I learn about time and motion study in multinational,
Well, that's what
they will measure how long it takes from you to walk from your office, let's say to the accounts department, to sign a document and back, There's a time frame to do that. That is measured,
So remember yesterday.
They consider that work so scientific.
Yeah.
Every aspect of work can be measured, and they operate like that.
Yesterday when we were talking about WASA and the crew and how the work ain't done properly, we were saying that we all assume that the man patching our hole is qualified to patch the hole.
We assuming that.
He know how to patch the hole because we see him in a uniform. Good? And we make assumptions about his competence. But if the HR is off, he might know nothing about that, but he there in the jersey.
Yeah, what I'm saying, if we want somebody to dig the hole, boy, that is how they go,
Yeah.
Want somebody, not the A-class digger,
Yeah.
Hey, who there, boy? Want somebody to dig the hole? Come now, man, oh God, hole here sitting down, man, oh, you come and dig it now, man, them fellas tired.
Yeah.
and then the wall now fall down, kill the man in the hole, and everybody say,
so,
oh God,
so
sorry.
it takes me back to a question about workers. You know, how many workers in the workplace totally understand what they called to do, meaning what they hired to do, and how much of them have the competence? How much of them have the competence to so do? You understand? Because for a lot of people, it's a work. W-U-K is a work. And I get a work, I go and look for a little work. Good? And sometimes HR will know you're not competent.
But this, okay, when you look at from the practice you all practice, from a unionized environment and a non-unionized environment, which work environment are plagued more with these inconsistencies?
So they unionize, and that's what I was saying.
Shouldn't
just
it be
now.
a more...
Unionize?
Yes, union. So for instance, union density is higher in lower performing circles.
Oh.
That's my view.
Okay.
So if you look at oil companies and other metrics, other agencies that are high performing, whether economically or well organized, you find the need for union and members of a union. It's not something that's talked about, because somehow HR does handle everything concerning the employee.
Is it why you just talk about union negotiating on productivity now?
No, first thing I want to say, I just want to answer the first question.
Right.
I think you will find more problems in non-unionized environment.
Okay.
And the reason is because in unionized environment, you have clear terms and conditions, you have collective agreement.
Yeah.
Right? So anytime you have errors, you have problems, that could be dealt with easily, because you have in every collective agreement, it have a grievance procedure.
Yeah.
So there's a clear line of what you're supposed to do and what you can't do. So you would have less problems.
Yeah, but here where
those kind of environments.
Here where we differ. Here where we differ.
That's all right. I feel the problem come with the non-unionized, where you had the written contract with those terms and conditions that the worker himself understand.
No.
Go ahead.
That's the non-unionized of a certain sector. Remember, we just argued. Remember, we had to follow the argument we made that in high-performing sectors like energy, you find there's less unionization, because all the things that a collective agreement can do in a unionized environment, HR does. Your contract of employment is very well written, very well catered for. You have to beg to go to a union, because the company policy caters for everything. You have daycare. My mother worked in a daycare associated with Atlantic LNG. I can tell you that. Okay? And the HR policies catered for the welfare and the well-being of the worker, of the engineer. That's what a union would have normally fight for and march up and down the road for.
That's normal.
The HR did all of that.
Okay, so maybe we should talk a little bit about labor stratification.
Right.
In terms of where the density are the informal workforce really is, right?
Yes.
So you might be talking about the service industry, the KFCs, the restaurants, all those low level security, all them kind of things. So those are the places where you will have most of those kind of problems.
Yes.
Those are the places that are not necessarily, not normally unionized.
And you have individual contracts and so.
And you have individual contracts.
Yes.
So you'll have a lot of problems in those kind of places. And listen, it tells in the court.
Yes.
You see it in the court.
So this is why I want to bring it out, because I know. Yes.
So you see it in the court. Most of the probably about 70% of the issues in the court does not necessarily come from areas or that has collective agreement, unionized environment, and that kind of RMUs.
Yes.
Right?
That is true.
Because those things are settled before you reach any court. It doesn't go to the ministry like that. Remember, if you do have an RMU, anybody could go to the Minister of Labor.
Yes.
So the thing is, the problem will be more the higher density, the higher propensity of those kind of things happening will be in non-unionized environment.
So right? I think it's free advice are given to employers in non-unionized environment to so strengthen up those HR policies.
The next thing I want to say, I'm glad I'm saying this free advertising again. Oh, not free advertising, free advice. I just always say, I mean, we have real problems with the workplace in Trinidad and Tobago. We have a real problem with trade unions. We have a problem with trade union. Trade unions are by and large to me out of date.
Set the function for Monday,
right?
One time.
And what happens is that what my opinion is that if so later early, right? My opinion is that if organization understand they could have a better running organization with an RMU, right? With a trade union. Because when you have a trade, you have a big organization, 500-600 workers, but you don't have an RMU. You could have 500 unions coming at you, you know, like real cost. When you have a union, when you have a unionized environment, it's easier to manage, in my opinion, because just contract administration.
One target.
And still, I learned today. I was talking to somebody, and they were telling me that their employer was trying hard for them not to have a union in the work environment. Right in Trinidad here. The employer was trying very hard not to have a union.
As much as you would think the union are what we call necessary evil, they have a role to play, a critical role.
And the trick is to tell management, so you tell your managers and your supervisors, that is not for all you. That is for them. So you're making management feel that they're not employees.
I think the historical stigma that lies with union, but union have evolved to a large extent now in terms of hiring consultants. I see union come with consultants and advisors now at the negotiation table, so it no longer is the whole show the loudest and so forth, you know. Give all the closing remarks, guys.
Well, definitely we do have to change our attitude to work. And on Monday, we will continue the discussion in the light of sexual harassment and other things that in the workplace. Are there policies that govern it, either in collective agreements or HR policies? And how extensive is this policy? One caller talked about where he used to work, the HR policy governed even posture, how you stand up and talk to somebody in the workplace.
Which is, I mean, this is good. I mean, this is a discussion. Certainly, we could continue. This is very much needed in the workplace to strengthen relationship, to strengthen the industrial peace in the country. We need to understand how to manage workers in the workforce.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 911.